everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Gakuen Club. We are along Renji Kamiki's route, and I think we're going to go ahead and finish him off before I go back to Saku, because Renji's route's been pretty short, so we don't really have that much left of him anyway. We'll be doing chapters 9 and 10 today, I think. So I think maybe he has 3 videos left, something like that. Then I'll go back to Saku. Alright, so where we left off, he had injured his finger, unfortunately, thanks to us, but he decided he's going to play the concert anyway. So let's see if that's going to be a terrible hindrance or not. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. He's going to play the concert. Renji has seemed irritated ever since he decided to play the concert. The nightclub members who don't know his motives, as well as the guests, assume he can't play the piano because of his injured finger. But I know that's not the case. It's about Renji's sister. Renji had said that his older sister was killed by her husband. But since I don't know anything more about Renji's sister, I have no words to offer him. I want to learn more about Renji's sister. And about Renji too. With a newfound sense of determination, I decide to see Renji. I swing by the music room and see that Renji is sitting in front of the piano as he always is. He does seem irritated. At a casual glance, Renji may seem like his usual self, but I can see that he's irritated sitting in front of the piano. I freeze in the place when I see how unimaginably tense Renji is. But I can't stop here. I force my legs to move and walk toward Renji.
What? It's not like you to come in without even a knock.
I let out a small sigh to calm my nerves before I speak. I've come here because there's something I want to ask you, Renji.
Really? You have something you want to ask me? So, what is it then?
Renji looks away from the piano and turns to me. Well, while I may have prepared myself, I still find myself getting nervous now that I'm here right in front of him. I work up the courage to ask him, or else this would all be for naught. I'd like you to tell me about your sister, and why you've been scarred so much.
Why ask me that? It has nothing to do with you.
Because I care about you. It has nothing to do with you. I had prepared myself for those very words, but they'd stung more than I thought. Yes, I might not have anything to do with it, but I still want to know. I want to be able to help you in any way I can. I want to be here for you. Renji widens his eyes as I say this.
Is that because you feel responsible for my finger?
I can't say that it's completely unrelated, but I would be here asking you the same thing even if your finger wasn't injured. Renji lets out a small sigh.
It's not a fun story, but I had a sister who was 3 years older than me. I was raised by my grandparents after my parents died in an accident when I was very young, but she was always there for me. I know it's weird of me to say, but she was smart, beautiful, and kind. I even learned the piano because of her.
Your sister also played?
Yes, I loved listening to my sister play the piano. I often asked her to when I was little. She played me many different songs. I was jealous of how much fun she looked like she was having when she played. The next thing I knew, I learned how to play too. She taught me other things besides the piano. She was always taking my side. She also encouraged me to study abroad. By the time I got back from studying abroad, she had already passed away.
Renji has a clear look of pain on his face, perhaps brought on by those memories.
When I heard my sister was getting married, I didn't know who he was, but I figured that if my sister chose him, he must be nice. I just made the assumption, and even got them a gift. I thought I would get to see her happy face.
Renji...
I've been thinking why my sister had to die when she should be living happily as a newly wedded bride. For some reason, nobody around would tell me any details about my sister's death. By the time I got home, it was all over. My sister would never return to my grandparents' house ever again. But don't you find all the secrecy strange?
It's awful.
So, I've continued looking into my sister's death, using whatever connections I can.
Maybe that's what that phone call I overheard in the beginning was all about.
And that's when I followed the thread to the headmaster of Kirika Academy.
The headmaster? Why do you think the headmaster is involved?
My sister was a student here as well.
But that doesn't mean the headmaster was involved.
My sister kept coming here to see the headmaster, even after she got married. Don't you think that's strange? A married woman going to visit another man numerous times?
Well, if they were friends or if she was asking for advice. I mean, that is strange, but...
He must know something. That's why the headmaster told me to join the nightclub. I thought it was my chance.
What? Then, is the reason you're with the nightclub because the headmaster told you to?
Yeah, that's right. Although it's not that he told me directly. Besides, the club is a good source of information.
So, does that mean the headmaster is the one who created the nightclub?
I don't know how long the nightclub has been around, but the headmaster was the one who put the current members together.
Then, does that mean the other nightclub members are working there for their own reasons? I wonder what kind of feelings Renji had while being there. I'm sure they're far more complicated than anything I'm thinking. It must have been hard for Renji to force down those feelings to entertain the customers. I will seize the headmaster if I see him. What? How? Makes it sound like I'm going to capture him for Renji to interrogate him. Renji's eyes grow big.
You're going to seize him?
Well, seize might be a little overboard. I start to feel a little self-conscious about my word choice. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Oh no, I think I jumped the gun a little bit. I'm so embarrassed. Unable to look Renji directly in the face, I cast my eyes down when I hear some faint laughter. Was that Renji? I look up and see that Renji is laughing loudly, as if he can no longer keep it all in.
You're funny, saying that you would seize the headmaster.
I told you I didn't mean to say it. I try to get Renji to stop laughing at me, but he only finds it even funnier. But this is the first time I think I've seen Renji laugh so hard. I've seen Renji laugh at the nightclub a number of times, but this is the first time I've seen him laugh so loudly and joyfully.
Well, I know, but I'm happy you said that.
Renji stops laughing and looks at me seriously.
You've helped me make up my mind. I'm going to make sure this concert is a success. Then I'm going to drag the headmaster out and ask him about my sister.
Renji keeps his eyes steady as he says this, looking confident as he imagines the concert a success. Oh, man. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Will you help me?
Yes, of course. I would be happy to help you if you'll have me.
Thank you.
Oh, I haven't done anything that deserves thanks. There's that phrase again.
You're just like my sister in that way, too.
What? What did Renji just say? I can't quite catch what Renji says, but he stops me before I can ask him.
It's nothing. I know I just asked you if you'd help me, but I don't want you doing anything dangerous or reckless, okay?
Renji says and takes me by the hand.
I will protect you.
There's a trace of sadness in his words, and I have none of my own to offer him. Chapter 10 already. I want to help Renji in whatever way that I can. That is what I told Renji in the music room that day, and I had meant it. And Renji had accepted it. I had thought that Renji would let me be by his side. Until then. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Huh. I let out a sigh as we were moving to a special room for our next class. It's not my imagination, is it? Is he avoiding me? It seems that Renji has been avoiding me ever since that day. At first I thought it was just my imagination, but it seems it's not. He barely even talks to me at the nightclub. Maybe I was just being stupid thinking I could help Renji. As I walk down the hall with these thoughts in my mind, I see Renji coming toward me. Oh, it's Renji! He's coming my way! I will... Oh, walk away. Am I playing hard to get? I want to talk to him, but... It's clear to me that Renji's been avoiding me the last few days. What am I supposed to say to him when I know he's been avoiding me? How am I supposed to act? I have no idea. It might be a little too awkward to see Renji right now. I turn my back to Renji and leave. That's why I don't notice Renji staring at me from behind. Oh, it was the wrong thing to do. Although if I made the other choice, it would probably still make me do the same thing anyway. That day, I head to the music room like I always do. Despite the awkwardness from this afternoon, I can't just leave things like this. I thought I would be able to ask him if we were alone. I knock on the door, but there's no answer. Renji, I'm coming in. I say before I open the door. Renji is sitting in front of the piano like always, but he doesn't even turn to look at me. I stop in front of the door. Renji's attitude is preventing me from taking another step. Then he says without even attempting to look at me,
What?
I don't know how to begin. A silence hangs over the music room. Oh, have you played the piano today? It's very unusual for Renji not to be playing the piano. Shouldn't he have been resting his finger lately?
I don't know how I should be playing.
Renji says quietly. What do you mean? Does your finger still hurt?
No, that's not what I mean. My finger is already healed.
I really hope so. Renji shakes his head. Then why?
Well, I've been playing the piano to find the man who killed my sister. But once her murderer is found, then I no longer have a reason to play the piano.
I'll be your reason. But that's...
Well, that's what I'm afraid of. Getting closer to the truth means...
Renji...
It's true that I want to find out why my sister died, but at the same time I'm scared. I'm terrified.
All I can do is listen to Renji as he confesses this all to me.
Well, I wonder if I'll be able to accept the truth after I find out. Will I be able to properly punish the person responsible?
Renji has been wrestling with these feelings every time he faced the piano. I feel like this is the first time I've taken a look at what's deep inside Renji. I can't just abandon him when he's like this, even if he is avoiding me. Is there anything I can help you with? I want to do anything I can for you.
You want to help me?
Renji mutters as he looks at me. For some reason, there's a hint of sadness in his eyes.
And then just leave me be.
What?
Could you not hear me? I said I want to be left alone.
But...
You help me? What could you possibly understand? You don't, do you? How could someone like you understand what I'm going through?
That's...
I've tabled a concert request for now. I told them I wanted to think about it because my finger was injured.
But you said it was going to be your big chance.
I told you that I'm scared, both to find out the truth about my sister and to play the piano without her.
That's the same as blaming your sister for everything that's gone wrong. I find myself yelling that. I understand how important your sister was to you, but I'm sure your sister never wanted to be a burden to you.
Burden?
Yes, right now you're using your sister as an excuse to hinder yourself. Do you think your sister would be happy to see you do this to yourself?
I know that. You don't have to tell me. I know it all too well, about how I'm using her as an excuse, and that she wouldn't want this for me.
Then why?
What should I have done then? What can I do at this point?
I can't answer Renji's questions. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I'm not you or your sister. I feel as though I can't easily claim to know what to do in this situation. But...
What?
I look directly at Renji and say, I want you to play at the concert and face the truth head on. I'm sure this concert will prove to be an important opportunity for Renji. That's why I feel like I need to do whatever's necessary to get Renji to play at that concert. He's been quietly listening when he breaks his silence with a big sigh.
You're very persistent. Didn't I just ask you to simply leave me alone? I'll just say it one more time. Please just forget about me.
Yeah, I think he's really worried about hurting us and he's trying to drive us away. I can't forget about him. But is forcing my involvement really going to help Renji? He lets out another exasperated sigh as I remain silent.
Okay, I've had enough. If you're not going to leave, I will.
What if I just follow you? Renji stands up and walks past me. I suddenly find myself grabbing Renji by his arm.
Would you let go?
No.
Why are you doing all of this?
Because I have a feeling that if I let you go right now, that you're going to disappear. I think I see Renji hold his breath before he says quietly,
I'm the one who's going to be left behind.
What? Renji doesn't answer. He just breaks his arm free and leaves the music room. Renji's words are still swimming around in my head. Left behind. Renji must be talking about his sister. I can't leave it like this. I'm sure Renji's sister wouldn't want this for her brother. There has to be something I can do. Just then, I remember something Renji had told me. That reminds me, Renji's sister used to go to this academy. I know. There is something I can do. I can't waste any time then. And we'll find out in the next episode what we're going to do. I hate it when they break things like that, but, it does kind of make sense, I guess. Duh. So, hope to see you in the next episode to find out what we're going to do for Renji. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.